Coronation Street actress Beth Nixon has opened up for the first time about the dramatic conclusion to her character Megan Walsh's storyline. In Friday's episode, Megan finally faced the consequences of her actions after being convicted of grooming Weatherfield teenager Will Driscoll. During an exclusive interview on Inside Soap's Soap Scoop podcast, Beth revealed that the creative team had always intended for Megan to be held accountable. "When I accepted the role, we didn't have the full picture of where the storyline was heading, how long it would last, or how long Megan would remain on the show," Beth said. However, one thing was always clear. She was never going to avoid justice by dying or through any other escape. "We knew from the beginning that she would end up serving a prison sentence." The story explores every stage of that journey, and I think it's powerful because viewers also see what Will's family is experiencing, how they're standing by him, and the emotional impact it's having on everyone. It's incredibly important to highlight that people who experience abuse can achieve justice. Sadly, that isn't always the reality, which makes the subject difficult. But when Corrie boss Kate Brooks and the writing team developed this storyline, they were inspired by several recent real-life cases where victims successfully saw their abusers convicted. In those cases, female offenders were taken to court and received prison terms of around 5 or 6 years, which is very similar to Megan's sentence. That makes the storyline both meaningful and reflective of real life in a hopeful way. Although it's an extremely dark subject, it demonstrates that justice is possible. Although Megan's story reached a satisfying conclusion, Beth admitted she would happily return to Coronation Street if the opportunity arose to film scenes set in prison. "I'd jump at the chance to come back," she said. "I absolutely loved working there, and I was so emotional on my final day that I couldn't stop crying. It's such a wonderful place to work, and I feel incredibly fortunate that I was trusted with this storyline. I'd especially love to see Megan cross paths with Lou Michaelis. Farrell Hegarty, who plays Lou, is one of my close friends, so filming prison scenes together would be brilliant. I also think Lou would definitely keep Megan in check." Beth became part of the Coronation Street cast toward the end of last year, while news of her exit from the ITV soap was announced approximately 2 months ago. Coronation Street viewers watched Megan Walsh receive a prison sentence during Friday's episode, marking what appears to be the end of Beth Nixon's time on the ITV soap. The actress, who made her television debut in the challenging role, earned widespread praise from fans for her portrayal of the disgraced teacher. Megan's storyline concluded after she was convicted for grooming teenage pupil Will Driscoll into an inappropriate sexual relationship. The courtroom drama had unfolded throughout the week, with Will initially telling the jury that he had fabricated the allegations before ultimately finding the courage to reveal the truth. Although Megan had confidently confronted Will beforehand and insisted she would be cleared of all charges, the verdict went against her when the jury found her guilty in the latest episode of the Manchester-based drama. She was convicted of encouraging a child to engage in sexual activity, including offenses committed while occupying a position of trust. The judge handed Megan a 5-year prison sentence, prompting an angry outburst as members of the Driscoll family celebrated the outcome and her mother sat devastated with her head in her hands. Even as court officers prepared to escort her away, Megan continued insisting she had done nothing wrong. Pointing at Will, she shouted, "No, no, no, you are a liar. In your dreams, I like a real man. I'm innocent, please. He's a liar. He's a fantasist. This is a kangaroo court." Fighting back tears, she pleaded with her mother, crying, Mum, please don't let them take me." Despite her desperate protests, she was led from the courtroom while Eva urged Will not to look at the woman who had abused him. Later, celebrations continued at the Rover's return, where local residents congratulated the Driscoll family after hearing the verdict. Cassie Plummer jokingly remarked, 5 years, eh? I bet her face was tripping, dirty perv." Will's father, Ben, confirmed that Megan had reacted badly to the sentence, saying, "Well, it's a matter of public record now. Yes, her face was tripping. She threw all her toys out of the dock." Eva added that prison officers had to remove her kicking and screaming. Viewers quickly took to social media to discuss the dramatic conclusion of the storyline. Many also praised Beth Nixon's performance, recognizing the impressive work she delivered in her first television role. One fan commented, "What a story that was and what an actress she is. Beth Nixon was absolutely phenomenal throughout." Another viewer wrote, "For whatever it's worth, it seems like this trial is Megan's swan song. While I definitely won't miss Megan, I'll really miss seeing Beth Nixon on my screen. She did a brilliant job bringing such a horrible character to life." Several fans also welcomed the decision to have Megan face justice through the courts rather than killing the character off, a storytelling choice that has recently attracted criticism in both Coronation Street and Emmerdale. One post read, "Megan found guilty so Corrie can let the victims get justice sometimes." Another viewer added, "It's so refreshing to see Megan get convicted instead of being killed off like other abusers. You can really see the relief on Will and his family's faces." Some fans compared the outcome with recent storylines in Emmerdale, where Dr. Caitlin Todd was killed after sexually abusing Charity Dingle. They also referenced Coronation Street's decision to have Sarah Platt kill Theo Silverton instead of allowing him to stand trial for his domestic abuse of Todd Grimshaw. Expressing disappointment, one viewer wrote, "Charity deserves justice. Unfortunately, now it's not going to happen, and the storyline has become a whodunit. I have no words. Soaps need to do better instead of killing off the villain. This story was so important for raising awareness, but in my opinion, they've ruined it for a cheap plot twist." Coronation Street and Emmerdale have announced another update to their broadcast schedule, with both soaps set to air hour-long episodes next week. Viewers have continued to experience uncertainty over when the ITV dramas will be shown, despite Friday night's episodes already having been confirmed. With the 2026 FIFA World Cup reaching its closing stages, television schedules on ITV1, BBC One, and BBC Two are being adjusted frequently as broadcasters finalize coverage of individual matches. As previously scheduled, Emmerdale will be broadcast from 7:45 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. tonight on ITV1, before Coronation Street follows with a 30-minute episode at 8:15 p.m. Both installments have already been released for early viewing on ITVX and YouTube. Tonight's Emmerdale centers on the uncertain future of Charity Dingle and Mackenzie Boyd's relationship, while Coronation Street reveals the outcome of Megan Walsh's court case. Looking ahead, Emmerdale returns on Monday, 6th of July, with a special hour-long episode beginning at 7:30 p.m. The episode follows Kane Dingle as he struggles with his increasingly rebellious son, Kyle Winchester, while the family also receives the heartbreaking news that their dog, Monty, has cancer. Coronation Street continues to air on weekday evenings at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available to stream on ITVX.